What up? We are back with the Gopher Broke podcast. It is Rutgers week. It is mini rival week for modern day Gophers football. I don't know what you want to call it, but we are diving into the Rutgers week this week, along with some other fun things, including games about the Big Ten. So be sure to hit subscribe over on YouTube and let's talk Rutgers. What up again? It is the Gopher Broke podcast. We are talking Gophers football once a week, every week for you. Actually, it's kind of been twice a week because we do immediately after the games. We've been doing live postcasts over on YouTube and on Twitter. So follow us wherever you get podcasts. Follow us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter so you can catch those live shows. But Tristyn, Spann-Ford, Kane, Rob, the co-hosts of the show. How you feeling, Tristyn?
Feel good. We got healthy on the bye week, and a nice week off. So I'm ready to rock, ready to roll.
Ready to rock and roll. Speaking of trying to get healthy in the bye week, bro, I feel like college football is feeling a lot of big injuries lately.
This week?
Steve Angeli, quarterback for Syracuse, he was second in the country in pass yards towards Achilles. So that's not good. John Mateer, quarterback for Oklahoma, he's going to be out for the next 3 or so weeks. He could miss the Texas-Oklahoma rivalry game. You hate to see that.
Hopefully
Right. So hopefully Darius Taylor is back in full swing this week, but we'll find out more as that comes. But man, you hate to see the injuries. Like, we only get so much football. Let these boys be healthy.
Exactly. I agree. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing in the world. It can change, especially when you're talking like these Heisman quarterbacks. It changes the whole dynamic of the game. Like that's what moves the lines.
Yep, absolutely. Now, before we dive into the football talk, I got to ask you, weekly segment, what is your gripe of the week?
My gripe this week is another real dad gripe.
I got one too. Yep.
Cars? It's a dad-ish gripe, I guess. I took my car into the shop. Needed new spark plugs put in. They told me that. They wanted to charge me $1,500 to put these spark plugs in my car. Did the whole thing for like $250 by myself. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, yeah, it's work. I got to do the labor. But what is the price? I asked him how long it takes. I was like, is it something that I'll be able to do? He's like, yeah, the book says maybe about 2 hours, hour and a half. I was like, so where is this other money coming from? Like, y'all charging me, you got a $900 shop rate? It's crazy work.
Dog, no, I feel you 100%. My headlight went out on my truck, and I was like, oh, let me look up what it would cost to get a headlight replaced. It's like $500. I was like, the part is like $80. Let me go ahead over to YouTube University and learn how to put this headlight in, because I am not paying $500 for that shit.
It's insane. I don't know what it is. We're in the wrong business. We should have been opening up a body shop somewhere, because they know what they're doing.
Hey, they do. And I feel like at the same time, nobody has good things to say about them. Anytime you got to go to the car shop, you're always dreading it. You're always like, damn. And they're going to try to sell me on some other stuff. Like every time.
I said my wife would go get an oil change every time she calls me. Hey, they say I need a new cabin air filter. No. You don't need that. Don't worry about it.
I feel that 100%. I'm like, if they tell you need anything else, tell them to put it in a printout and we'll review it when you get back. But no, my gripe of the week. So I love my child and I love how he is learning and advancing. But there's certain things, like when boy learns how to get out the crib.
Oh.
It's not my favorite thing. We put him down to sleep. We go down, we sit down, we relax. All of a sudden, it's just quiet. You don't hear nothing. All of a sudden, he's right next to the couch. Hi. And I'm like, no. This is not how this is going to work. It is your bedtime. So That is not my favorite thing. Love the advancements, love the learning, but that was the one learning I was like, nah, we ain't here for that one. This is my quality peace time right now, and I need every minute of it. So,
Oh yeah, it's the you spend so much time being like, man, I can't wait till you can do stuff. I can't wait till you can move around, and it flips right to, I wish you would stop moving around and doing stuff.
you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. But we will hop off of this gripes and talk about some football. We're going to first, before we dive into the Gophers, we're going to talk about the Big Ten football games this week. We're going to pick who we have in the games going this week. So we'll pick each of the Big Ten football games each week going forward. And so we got some good games this week, Tristyn. We've got USC versus Illinois, both of those teams ranked. We got Rutgers, Minnesota, which I still think is going to be a good game. Ohio State, Washington, I think could be a sneaky. Oh, I was going to say best game of the week, but that ain't true. You
No,
got Indiana, Iowa, and then you got UCLA, Northwestern, by far the worst game of the week. And then you've got Oregon, Penn State in the whiteout game at night on NBC. That's easily the best game of the week. But there's some bangers. There's some bangers this week. So let's go by each one. First one is that USC, Illinois. It is at Illinois. USC is now 21st in the country. Illinois is 23rd in the country. Who are you feeling in that one?
I think Illinois is going to bounce back a little bit, especially after the Illinois loss. Oh my God,
Belt to
Indiana
ass.
loss.
Yep,
Yeah,
belt to
absolutely. I
ass.
mean, you got to think Bielema was getting after these guys all week, but I like USC. USC's quarterback is he.
Nice. He's nice.
He looked just like Caleb Williams.
He
He
does.
is. He is to Caleb Williams what Dylan Raiola is to Pat Mahomes sometimes.
Except for I feel like he's like Caleb Williams was very much dramatic on the field, if you feel me. Like
Yeah,
not like dramatic, like, but you could just see in his body language and
yeah.
his
It's more of an
facial restriction.
aesthetic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Whereas this dude is like brick wall. Like he's like,
yes,
yep, I just did that. Like, yep,
yeah.
and I love it. I love every second
Yeah,
of
I
it.
do. I think he's awesome. He looks good. I don't know who to pick in this game. I would just bet the over if it was like a gambling pick, because USC feels like they're the
The
same
over
old.
under 60 and a half though.
Oh, dog. UCLA or USC is
They've been putting up like
they will
over
give up
35 every
60
game.
points, but they'll put up 60 points a game. Like they're same old USC. Like they have to score 75 points to win a game.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. You might be right on that one. The line is 6.5 in favor of USC when it comes to odds by ESPN Bet. I'm gonna rock with USC on this one.
Kind of
I
like
believe more. I believe more in the upside of Maava, the quarterback. I feel like Lincoln Riley is like, bruh, if I don't win these big games this year, I'm out. Like
yep.
they canning me. So I think USC is going to respond this week and keep on climbing. Then you got the Minnesota Rutgers game, which we will do at the end because we'll dive into our predictions throughout the entire game along with the score. Next one you have is Ohio State at Washington. Now I'm going to say I think this is going to be a sneaky close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a double-digit score game. I think it's going to be a single score game, and I do think that Washington's going to put up a fight here.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think it's going to be a lot better of a game than a typical Ohio State fan would expect, or a closer game than Ohio State fan would expect. I do think Ohio State's probably going to win, but I do, yeah, like it's like a Washington covers the spread.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's defense is nasty. Now, Washington's offense is really good. Their quarterback is really good. Their running back is really good. They got a decent wide receiver. So I think Ohio State's going to win this one in a close one, but I won't be shocked if Washington pulls an upset.
Yeah, it might be that would it might be. It's going to be a good game. It'll be a good game.
All right, next one is Indiana at Iowa. Look, Kurt Signetti is not playing no games. Like he just put BTA on Illinois, and I think he's going to do the same thing to these Hawkeyes.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's not even going to be close. I think that game is going to be something you look at in the first quarter, somewhere before halftime, and you're like, wow, okay, Indiana's not killing them too bad, and then by the end of the game, that final score is going to be like a 20-point difference. Like Indiana's just going to walk them.
I do think Indiana's going to spank. UCLA Northwestern. The real answer is, do we care?
Yeah, you gotta find a different game to watch during this slate.
That game is going on at the same time as Ohio State, Washington, and Indiana, Iowa, so you might as well watch one of the other two. But if I have to pick one, I think I'm going to pick UCLA responding to their coach getting fired and maybe being like, yep, that was it. We can rally now. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to pick UCLA on the road.
I don't know. I mean Northwestern hardest place to play in the Big Ten on
Hardest
a
place.
noon game. It's nobody there, so I don't know. I think I'd take Northwestern. Yeah, I think
All
UCLA
right.
might have a quit factor. They might all just be
You could be 1000% right. They could maybe not win a game this year.
yeah.
But let's move it over to the best game of the week. Penn State, Oregon. It's at Penn State in the whiteout game. And look, whiteout games don't play, bro. Whiteout games are for
No,
real. But I think I might have Oregon in this one.
that's what I'm thinking. Yep, I like Oregon. I don't know. Dan Lanning is a different animal when it comes to prepping for games. His game plans are awesome. Like, and he for some reason every game I see him coach, he coaches as if the other team has wronged me. Like they've spoken poorly about me and my family, and I'm coming to avenge everybody. That's how he runs his offense. So I would go Oregon. I know it's the environment's electric. I love that this game's at night. This is a textbook college football game. So I
Yep, yep.
I, I like Oregon though.
Dan
Even though Penn
Lanning
State is no joke.
Dan Lanning had a hand in getting Mike Gundy fired with his 69-3 BTA whooping to Oklahoma State in week 2.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come with that same mentality against Penn State. I think it'll be a lot closer than that. But I think that Oregon has more cards in its favor because they've seen this Penn State team. Like most of the
Mm-hmm.
players on this Penn State team are back, the quarterback, the running backs. You know what you're scheming for here. There hasn't been a whole lot of changes. Same offensive coordinator. Defense, a little bit different, but the defensive coordinator came from Ohio State, whom you beat last year during the regular season, played them somewhat close in the playoffs. So you kind of know what you're getting into. Whereas Penn State, they're going against a new quarterback in Dante Moore. They're going against a new running back. They're going against new receivers. The defense has new starters. Like, I think this Oregon team is like refreshed, and I think that it'll be a lot harder for them to prepare for this one.
What's the line in that game?
The line is 51 and a half points in the, oh, just kidding. That's the over under. Line is 3.5 points in favor of Penn State.
Oh, I suppose because they're at home. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's an Oregon money line play. That's
Hey,
can you
you
get in
heard it
trouble for
here.
talking about gambling if it's illegal in
No,
Minnesota?
no,
Just
no.
curious. I don't know. I'm
No,
just
when I was on the Lockdown Podcast Network, we literally had advertisements for gambling, and I would be like, "Oh, we can't do it in Minnesota," and they're like, "No, you still got to read the ad." And I was like, "All right, man, whatever
fair,
you
fair.
say."
Those gambling companies, feel free to come back on here. We will also talk about that gambling if you'd like.
We will pay us a little bit of money. We're
That's
right
it.
here for
That's,
it.
that's it.
All right. Last thing before we dive into this Rutgers game, I want to ask you your thoughts. Have you heard about the 5 for 5 that might be going through with the NCAA? Basically, they're talking about potentially making it so every student athlete gets 5 years to play 5 seasons. Essentially, there will be no red shirt. It's just bango, you get 5 years. And if you play in them or not, that's what you got. Kind of like the old one with 4, but you'd get the red shirt, so you could have 5. But no, it's 5 for 5 is the potential thing going on here.
I don't think I like that off the rip.
Okay.
I I see what they're trying to do, but there's a
They're
lot
just
of
sick of all the
guys.
exceptions, bro. They're sick of like the
Yeah,
medical waiver here, the JUCO waiver there, the this waiver this year.
I think I like the waivers. Keep it as it is. My thing is I want to see good players play at any as much as I can. So like a guy comes out of JUCO, I want him to have a waiver so he can play, and then he gets hurt that next year. I want him to get a waiver so he can play again. He gets hurt that following year. I still want to see him play. So
They
let
did
him play.
they did say that potentially the medical red shirt would still be a thing that could be
Oh, okay.
placed on top, but normal red shirts would basically be gone. Like if you sat out your first year, you don't get an extra year on top of that. It's like you got 5 for 5. So you
That
better
makes a
start working
difference. I
on the
was thinking
specialty.
medical right away. I went medical and I
Okay.
was like, ooh, that sounds horrible. Like there's some injury prone guys who I still want to see play.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know. What are your thoughts?
I'm curious on it. I'm curious. I think in certain aspects it could be fun. It could be good. Other aspects, 5 years, like that's a long time. And then how much are you taking high school recruits when you got a whole nother extra year with all these other guys that you've been building with? Like if they put it into place in October, it would carry into next year. So basically, think of a guy like Darius Taylor. He is technically a junior right now in his third year. He'd have 2 more years of eligibility that he could use instead of the one that he would have for next year. So I mean, you love to think we could have some more Darius Taylor.
That's true.
But what does that do for the rest of your room? Is Fame Ijiboy going to be like, look, I thought Darius was either going to the NFL this year or he'd have 1 year left, but now he's got two. Like, should I go somewhere else and try to start? Like, I think it could disrupt some things in the next year or so. People talk about Gophers basketball with it, and you're talking about like guys like Cade Tyson who just came on board, or Bobby Durkin who just transferred in. Bobby Durkin, instead of having 2 years of eligibility, could have three with this year's team. Cade Tyson, who has 1 year this year, could have another one next year and have 2 years. So then this core of guys that came in with Nico could basically all stay together for the most part. I think one or two of them would have to go still because they're 6 year guys right now. But overall, like you could get another year of kind of continuity. And I mean, for a new basketball head coach, new program, things like that, I love the thought of it on that front. But when it's eventually the shoe is on the other foot, I'm sure I won't like it another
Yeah, then you'll
instance.
be like, damn. I don't know. I love college football when players just play forever. Like Bo Nix. Sometimes I wake up and sit down on the couch to watch Big Noon Kickoff, and I'm like, Bo Nix for Heisman. He's got to be still playing, right? He's like he played for
Nah,
so
dog, now
long.
he's trying to get that MVP over with the
Hey,
Denver Broncos, even though they're
but
1-2.
still, but imagine if Bo Nix was still playing college football. That'd be great. It'd be great.
All right, man, it's time to move into the Gophers and the Rutgers matchup. We're going to kick it off spicy and hot right away. I want to know, man, is this a must-win game for the Minnesota Gophers?
Uh, Brother, this is an absolute must win. And I will say that because many times we win the bye week. We lost the bye week this week because Cal got stomped by
Oh
SDSU.
my God. Thank you
And
for bringing that up, dude. We lost
they
so
got
bad.
absolutely pounded. And it was like we lost to them all over again. I was like,
And
oh,
they,
we took 2 losses from Cal because they made us look horrible.
and
I
they
saw the
didn't
score and I
lose
was
to
like, oh
like
no.
they didn't lose to another power school. They lost to a G5 school.
It's like, oh
Oh,
my God. I was like, I was like, oh my God, I might have to go back and watch the tape. Like, no way we looked this bad. Like the Gophers are not this bad. But this week, Cal beat us again. They made
they
us
didn't.
look
They
so
did.
bad.
The
So I
Gophers
think
did. Give them the
this is an
juice.
absolute must win. This is
Yep.
the whole season. If we come out and play like we did against Cal,
That's a wrap.
we might be packing it in. We might be packing in. We're gonna be talking about hopefully we can get a bowl. We're gonna be finding wins to get to a bowl, and it's gonna be a battle because it's not gonna get any easier from here.
I agree. I said yes. This is absolutely a must-win game. It's a game that you should win, and the games that you should win that are left on your schedule right now: home versus Rutgers, home versus Purdue, home versus Michigan State, away versus Northwestern, and home versus Wisconsin. That's 5 games, and you got 2 wins right now. Those are the games you should win. So that will put you at 7-win season. So those again are the games you should win. You'll probably be favored in those games. If you drop any of those games, you're talking about having to go and pull an upset, having to go and scrap and pull games that aren't counted in your favor in order to stay right on that bowl line. So it is, you have to win the games that you are supposed to win here. And then you're hoping that you can pull a couple bigger ones like a Nebraska, like a Iowa, or Oregon? Probably not. But I mean, you're hoping you can pull one of those, and now you're talking about an 8-win season or a 9-win season if you can pull both Iowa and Nebraska. So, I mean, your success is built on winning the games you are supposed to win for the rest of the year. You lost your one that you were supposed to win at Cal. You were favored in that game on the road, and you lost it. That's your only one you get. You don't get any more at this point, so you got to win the games you're supposed to win.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's brutal. That was a brutal thing to happen. So you gotta bounce back this week. It is absolutely a must win.
Yeah, you can't go and lose the Cal game, lose the bye week by watching Cal get spanked by San Diego State, and then go to lose Rutgers, and then go on the road to Ohio State and potentially lose again. Bro, 4 losses in a row? Nah, it's hard to rebuild off of that. It's hard to get the juices going again after that.
No, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I do think this is going to be a good game this week. I think it is a very winnable game. With that being said, as bad as we played against Cal, I think this is a winnable game if everyone steps up.
Yep. Now, when we're looking at Rutgers as a whole, so far in the season, they played in a close win versus Ohio to kick off the season. Then they had a big win versus Miami of Ohio, so they're just taking down the whole state of Ohio.
They own Ohio.
Except for Ohio State, because
Ohio.
Then they obliterated an HBCU in Norfolk State, coached by Michael Vick. And then they hung around with Iowa, but ended up losing in the second half by double digits, a 10-point loss to Iowa last week. So they're coming off a loss, coming on the road to Minnesota, and this is where you got to capitalize. Hopefully Iowa exposed some things in the second half that you can put into your game plan to start immediately. But when you're looking at this Rutgers team, their defense, I feel like over the years, and like Schiano in general, the coach, like it's a defensive, like they're hard grit defense, just like Minnesota is. They like to run the ball. They like defense. Not this year. Not this year. They don't.
Air raid offense.
57th in pass defense, 78th in rush defense, 60th in total defense, 76th in scoring defense, 95th in sacks, 91st in turnovers. This defense has been doo-doo. And then on top of that, there's nothing to write home about. I think they have 2 interceptions on the season, 0 forced fumbles on the season. This is where you got to be licking your chops like, we got to attack this defense. We got to let Drake Lindsey cook in this game. We got to let Darius Taylor get his vibe in this game. If he's not 100, let your guys like Fame Ejeboy go and grind it out too. We know that they can do it now. They put up, Fame Ejeboy was on the Big Ten PFF graded team last week with that, even in that Cal loss, still graded as one of the best running backs of the week in the Big Ten. So overall, I mean, like, let your guys go get it. And again, this is a game where you can feel good, but you cannot shoot yourself in the foot, which is exactly how Minnesota lost the game last year.
Yeah, I 100% agree. The couple of the stuff that I had is the secondary. Our secondary has to show up. They got to show up this week. Athan's going to let it fly. He's had a very decent year, but they don't really have a run.
Year. I'm going to correct you there. Yeah. He's had a good year. It's
very
not even
good
decent.
year.
It's
very
good.
Yes, he looks awesome. But their run game is not that strong. So, and our run defense is very good. I think we're giving up 52 yards a game, something like that.
First in the nation. First in the nation run defense.
Yeah. So we have a very solid run defense. They're missing their first running back. So the secondary, they're gonna throw the ball. So it's time to eat. It's time to eat. The secondary's got to get after it and go get it. And we cannot get cooked like we did last week.
Yep. And so you brought him up. Athan Kaliakmanis, former Gopher, brings a little bit more spice to this game. Again, I've got nothing but love for Athan Kaliakmanis. I've had people call me traitors because of that. And frankly, I don't give a damn. Good for him. I hope he keeps going.
Show support for another kid.
How dare you? Nah, but I hope he has a great, phenomenal season. I hope he has his worst week of the season this week, and I can clarify that. I hope he has a bad week this week, and then we go on to ball remaining. But he's 10th in the country in pass yards overall. He's 4th in the FBS and PFF ranking of quarterbacks on the year. He has 11 big-time throws and 0 turnover-worthy plays on the season, and a nearly 70% completion percentage. Look, he put in the work this offense. He worked with a new QB coach this offseason, and it is showing. Good for you, and hopefully we can respond. And it's not just I feel like with the Gophers, he knew when something was wrong. Where's Daniel Jackson? Where is Daniel Jackson on the field? I know I can throw it that way and he can bail me out, or we can run. Now he still gets the running going with Rutgers, but when it talks about receivers, he is spreading the ball out with Rutgers, and that's something this secondary is going to have to respond to, like you said. They're wide receivers, top 3 guys right now. First wide receiver, 367 yards. Second wide receiver, 336 yards. Third wide receiver, 252 yards. Basically even across the board among your top 3. When it comes to receptions, 24 receptions, 15 receptions. Again, pretty even across the board. 9 total touchdowns across 6 players, and each of the top 3 receivers each have 2 touchdowns. They are literally putting this ball wherever it needs to be. They're reading the field, and those are things that people give Athan crap for here in Minnesota. But he is responding this season, and the Gophers have to take that seriously. So hopefully they learn their lesson from last year, because I think last year they were trying to put the game in Athan's hands, and in that first half he cooked us. And now you're hoping you can respond. You've seen him do that now. You don't need to doubt him. So how can we put the ball in tougher situations? How can we try and create those extra turnovers and not doubt him, but make it so it's like, okay, we're going to take things away and make you choose the right thing at this moment.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
All right, you brought it up. Their rushing offense is not good. They're 90th in the country right now. So I think overall, you know that
starting running back is hurt.
Is he? I didn't even see that. But
I saw something. I think that he was ruled out for the season, hurt.
Oh, damn. Well,
I think.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy.
We'll see. We'll see. But overall, I think that you're going to have to look out for the RPO game. We know Kirk Shiraka likes to run that style of offense, but they're not afraid to pass it. They're not afraid to hit you over the top, and they've shown that this season. Also, fun fact from Guardsy, I don't know if you have been tapped in there, but Guardsy said Kirk Shiraka, his salary this season is $1.9 million. He had a $1.4 million annual salary, and this year they gave him an extension. He got a $500,000 bonus for the season. So he's at $1.9 million this season, right? He is making more money than all three of our coordinators combined. Oh. When you're talking about Danny Collins, $675,000 this year, Greg Harbaugh, $775,000 this year, and Bob Ligashevsky, $390,000 this year. That's $1.84 million, and Kirk Shiraka by himself is making $1.9 million this year.
Is that why what's his name went to Miami? We gotta cut some checks. What are we doing?
I am saying this is insane. If somebody offered me another job, I'd be out the door too at this point. So Mr. Coyle, can we please open up the checkbook and show some respect to these assistants? Because hot damn, that is a travesty. All three of your coordinators. Now, granted, Kirk Shiraka is in the top 15 paid offensive coordinators in the country. Yeah. But it's Rutgers, dog. It's Rutgers. They're not out here kicking the doors down with salaries. Can we pay one of our folks? Can we go out there and spend a little bit for me? That's crazy. Fact of the week for you.
Yeah, that's nuts. We gotta cut some checks. We don't have to deal with this defensive coordinators leaving every single year. We don't have to do this.
Just crazy. All right, bro. But my keys to this game, this Rutgers game, and trying to win it. First off, you have to win the turnover battle. We just talked about last year you lost this game by shooting yourself in the foot, fumbling the ball in your own zone, and making it an easy way for the Rutgers to go on and take the lead and kind of put you in a tough predicament. And then you turn it over again, I believe, soon after that. You cannot turn the ball over in this game. And if you do, you better go get two. If you're going to turn over one, you better go get two. You have to win the turnover battle game, and you have to capitalize. It showed last year. If you don't, you will lose this game. That's the type of rock fight you're playing in. That same type of game is like Iowa. Same type of game is like Wisconsin here and there. You got to go and get it. You got to take care of the football. And if you don't, you're probably going to lose this one. So that's key number one. Key number two, you got to Cobra Kai on this team, bear. You got to strike first. You got to strike hard. And you got to show no mercy, okay? You have to jump out to an early lead. You have to make them feel the pressure of coming back. And that way it can lead to more pressure. It can lead to more opportunities for them pressing and maybe making a mistake or putting the ball in harm's way. If you can get the lead going early, that is where you can start to capitalize on potential mistakes. And then finally, you got to clean up them damn missed tackles, bro. If I have to watch 13 missed tackles again, I'm going to tell you the game's over. I'm going to tell you, yep, there it goes. I don't care. Athan going to run it. Ian Strong gonna run it, KJ Duff gonna run it. I don't care who it is. If you can't tackle the damn player, it's a wrap.
It's gonna be game over. No, I have similar things. That's exactly what I wrote down. I wrote momentum. You cannot let off the gas. Do not. The play calling needs to be consistent, but stay aggressive. Even we gotta go up. When we get up, stay up. We don't need to be hesitant or conservative at all. Just keep your foot on the gas and keep the momentum rolling. If anything, that's kind of what this team, we haven't played We haven't won against a impressive opponent yet. I don't want to say, but that's what it feels like with these guys. Is like good things have to keep stacking. We have to stack good things. Like when things go well, keep it rolling. Don't get hesitant on, oh, now it's 3rd and long. Let's be conservative to get better field position on a punt. Let's go for it. Take a shot. Like, we have the guys, just take a shot. Like, it's going to be way more demoralizing to feel like you gave up on a drive on 3rd down than going for it with trusting your quarterback and being like, yes, we can do this, and you turn the ball over, or you don't get it on 3rd down, but you took a shot.
Yep. I agree with you 100%. In fact, you talking about that and you walking through that reminded me too last year. Doug, we had moments of struggle. We had moments of lapses early on, the North Carolina game, the Iowa game, and what have you. The moments where the season got good and the moments where we found our swagger is when PJ and co were just like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, and that started in the Michigan game at the end of the first half where we threw a deep shot, caught it, ran it in, got the field goal before the half at the last second, and then all of a sudden you came out the next half and you came with that swagger and you went for it and you went and attacked and all those things. Then you go to the USC game and you went for it on 4th and you punched in a touchdown and you won the game. You went in those situations at Penn State and you were going for it and you were pushing and you lost in like a one point game to one of the best teams in the country. When you play aggressive, that is when the best moments of this Gopher team has happened in the last year or so. So why not continue to do it? Don't lean back into the old comfortableness and then get your butt whooped by the good teams and be in rock fights with the mediocre teams.
I agree. And it does go back to what we talked about in the offseason and what PJ's main theme of the season was going to be. Like, you got to be aggressive. You got to go. Like, just
be delusional. You got to
yes,
be delusional.
That's what I'm saying. This 3rd and long,
you can't
Drake
tell me
Lindsay is about
delusional.
to hit a bomb on this 3rd and long.
You can't tell me to be delusional and run it on 3rd and 7. Come on,
exactly.
Now.
Like, let it go. Like, let it fly. Like, you're going to get a much better response out of your offense. Just knowing, like, hey, next time you're going to make that throw. That's a big play. Next time you're going to make it, even if you don't. Like, you gotta just be aggressive. Keep being aggressive.
Yep. All right, before we dive into these predictions, I'm going to give you the players to know in this matchup. Obviously, Athan Kaliakmanis, he's been having his best season so far. He's been playing out of his mind, and I think that he can continue to do that for the rest of the year, so you have to respond against him. The top 2 receiving options are Ian Strong and KJ Duff. They are the top 2 guys, and they are both massive. 6'3", 212 for the first dude, 6'6", 230 for the second dude. Like, the secondary is going to have to step it up. The secondary is going to have to get physical.
Yes,
you're going to
get huge secondary week.
Aggressive. Like, you got to get out there. You might not have the size in this battle, but you can have the heart. You can have the heart. And you need to go out there and scrap. You need to have that swagger. You need to hit them. Look, if you're going to get a penalty at some point, you make sure they feel every second of every yard of that penalty. Make sure they feel it so they ain't coming back the same the next time. If you are going to get in this scrap fight with them beasts, them big boys on the wide receiver, you better leave an impact. You better leave some marks, some bruises, some scars. That's all I'm saying.
A 6'6" receiver is crazy. You just got Megatron out here. That's nuts.
Yeah, dude, that's KJ Duff. So I'm sure we'll hear that name a bit this weekend. All right, let's move it into the predictions. I pulled up the predictions over on Underdog. So if you are they call it fantasy, but dog, it's betting. It's betting. If you are an Underdog user, feel free to ride with us on this one. But Drake Lindsay's pass yards, 212.5 yards is what they're at. What is your over-under on that one?
212 feels like low. I mean, based off the last week's performance, these lines are going to be low. But I'd go over. I think he'll be right around 250, 260.
I agree with you. I think he's going to be over. Last week he had 205, and that was with the Gophers having some terrible miscues in the second half that cost us time of possession. Otherwise, he would have had more opportunities. The first game, he had 290. The second game, he had 139 in the first quarter and a half. Like,
he's on pace for 600 yards.
Right. The dude can throw the rock. He's going to get over 212. Athan Kaliakmanis, flip side, 238.5 is his line. Are you going over or under?
Ooh, I got to be realistic. I think I'm going to go over there too. That feels like a low line as well. I mean, and I'm just basing that. I think our secondary is going to play much better. They have to. They have to clean it up. I don't think we can play much worse. So I think they're going to clean it up and play much better. But I really do think their only game is their passing game. They're going to throw the ball regardless of how well it's going. So I'd say similar to 250 for him too. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think that they have to pass the ball. Like you said, their running backs haven't been great. Their rushing offense hasn't been great. So far in 4 games right now, Athan Kaliakmanis has 252 yards, 259 yards, 309 yards, and 330 yards. So he literally hasn't had a single game under 240, and this is at 238.5. I feel like you have to take the over here. Like, it's
Yeah.
just smart money at that point. If a player has never done under that on the season, like, believe what they've put on tape until they show you otherwise at this point. Now, I think the Gophers' pass defense is really good overall. They
I,
tried to test me on that in the
I,
last game. They tried to test me on that in the last game. The second half, you run it just the second half,
yep.
they were
Yep.
good again.
Cleaned it
You
up.
run it just the first half, we might have been one of the worst secondaries in the nation.
It was brutal. It was so bad.
But I think they'll respond. I think they're going to respond. I do think Athan's going to get above 238. I think he'll sit right around that 240, 250, like you were saying. And I think the biggest thing is you need to generate turnovers. He has 1 turnover on the season. He has 7 touchdowns, 1 turnover. Like I said, 0 turnover worthy plays on PFF, which means that turnover, and I didn't watch all of the Iowa game that he had, that turnover probably came off of like a tip or something that wasn't completely his fault and putting in the bad position. So I don't know. I'll take the over there. And guess what? I got some good news for you. If underdogs got some connections, they tapped in with the Minnesota folks. They do have a line for Darius Taylor on
Love that.
underdogs. So I love to see that. That typically means we're hearing good things from different sources here and there. His line. I want you to guess what his line's at.
After being out, getting hurt, I bet it's at 85.
Dog, 101.5. I was like, okay, y'all hearing Darius is great, or how
Yeah.
what are we hearing? Because you get meat juice just seeing that line right now. So, what are you thinking? 101.5 yards, over or under?
I think I'm worried about the workload that they're going to give him coming off. I don't know. It's tough. We don't know what the injury was. We don't know if he just pulled a hammy. We don't know what it was.
It sounds like it was lighter, but it was hamstring related.
Okay, then I'll go over. Then I'll go over.
I talked you into it.
Yeah, you did.
I did that.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it was just something light like that, then I can definitely see them being like, yeah, you're done for the night. Like you had 3 weeks off now, like or 2. Yeah, I mean essentially 3 weeks off because he didn't really play much in the whatchamacallit game. So 3 weeks off. He's healthy. He'll be back. Like they're gonna give him the workload. He's ready to rip.
I do think that there's definitely. I think he's going to be good to go. I'm going to go under the 101.5 because I could see them saying, "Look, we're giving you 18 to 20 carries this game," and he can get 101 in 18 to 20 carries.
They left.
But I remember what Rutgers did to Darius last year, and that was again with Darius being a little banged up in that game, and they didn't give him as many carries. I think they only gave him 10 carries in the Rutgers game last year. I think they're going to give him more than 10 in this game, but I do think they're going to use the other backs and try to spell him and not put too much on his workload coming back because, again, must win game. But if you want to have any shot against Ohio State coming up, Nebraska, Iowa coming up, you're going to need Darius Taylor. So we need to get him back to 120%, not just 100%. So I think it's going to be under on that one.
Okay.
All right, yardage that the Gophers will give up this week. What do you got it going at?
Ugh. What is
this?
Is
Where the Cal fans were pissed at us last year. This is where they got pissed at us.
Because we were being disrespectful.
Last week,
so disrespectful.
They said we were so disrespectful. I said 300. You said 265.
They
were at 300 in the fourth quarter when Coy muffed the punt. So if the Gophers kept that ball and drove it the 7-minute drives that they were doing, they probably would have finished around 315, 320-ish maybe.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful. Disrespectful.
What did Rutgers finish with last week? Do we have that?
I can have that. So Athan against Iowa had 330 passing yards against Iowa. And overall, the team had, come on, ESPN, I believe in you.
I don't like
Uh,
when I can ask for stats. I feel like what's his name? Joe Rogan asking Jamie for a stat. Jamie, can you pull this up?
Rutgers had 400 total yards of offense last week.
I think it's under that. I think it's under that, but the Cal game has my brain in a blender. I just can't stop seeing it, and then Cal just goes and just lays a goose egg, and it makes me worried that we're not good. But we have to bounce back. We have to bounce back. This is the season. This game is the whole season. So I'm going to say 350 yards.
You've got 350. I'm going to go. We just said we think Athan gets around 240, 250.
That's what I'm saying. So
I'm going to give them like 80 rush yards. Number one run defense. I'm going to give us some props. 80 rush yards, 240. That puts me at, I'm going to go 325. 325 is what I got going.
We're in the ballpark. We're in the ballpark.
Yep. Some Rutgers fans will absolutely hate that. Whatever. I don't care.
Yes. Sorry, we're not hyping up the Rutgers on the Gopher podcast.
Yes. How bad? Anyways, first touchdown. I'm going to let you pick the first pick. We'll go 2 picks each. First touchdown of this week for the Gophers.
Javon Tracy.
Okay. I'm going to say Darius Taylor.
Like that. I almost went with it, but I got a feeling.
Yeah.
My second one, I'll just go Jalen Smith. The other one.
Yes, you went with the wrong other one because your boy, who you called last week, player of the game, Le'Meke
I
Brockington.
have him written down.
I'm going with Le'Meke Brockington, first touchdown. Also, scoreboard update. First week, you won in the points 7-3. Basically, if we're way off, I don't give any points. If we're like really close or whatnot, then I'll give points. So you won 7-3. Last week, I won 5-4. So currently, you are up 8-11 or 11-8, I guess, right now.
Okay, look at me. I know knower of ball. That's what they call
It's early, folks. All right, do the Gophers score on their first drive? Yes or no, and then a touchdown or field goal if you say yes.
I think yes, field goal.
I wanted to just be opposite of you, but dude, this Rutgers defense is not great. Like Iowa and Rutgers were literally just scoring back to back last week in the first half. So I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna go touchdown.
I can't wait for this game to happen so I can just get Cal off of my brain. I don't want it. I don't want that to be my. I can still feel. I can taste it in my mouth. Ugh.
All right, how many turnovers did the Gophers get this week, and who gets them?
Coy. It's a Coy week. Coy is gonna get a pick.
Time to respond. Yes.
Exactly. Get off
so
the mat.
Just one?
Get off the mat. Well, I think. Oh, it was just for the Gophers, or just the team total.
Yeah.
Let's say 2. I say 2. 2 turnovers.
All right. So Coy, and then who's your second?
Well, Zaquan. It might be his. Let me call Zaquan's number.
All right. I'm going to go with 1, and I'm going to go with Coy as well. So we'll see what happens there. Who leads the team in tackles? We both won this point last week. We had a tie between Devin Williams and Maverick Baranowski.
I have Maverick written down again. Did I take him last week?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, just go with the hot hand. I'm going to go Maverick again then. I'm going to go Maverick. I mean, he should have the most tackles.
I don't know what Kerry Brown's status is. I would love to go here. Nah, we're going Coy. Coy's responding this week. Coy is going to have a massive week. Coy is going to play hungry. Coy is going to shut up the annoying Gopher fans that wanted to be like, oh, this is your fault, or put it on him.
Can we stop with the we talked about it in the live show. We're trying to get too cute with him, putting him on offense, and he's playing special team. Stop. Stop. This is insane. This is a 19-year-old. Like, he could play the entire game and not get tired. Like,
Yeah,
let's
no,
not get crazy right now.
he's
Like,
an athlete. He's
yes,
an
and
athlete.
he's playing like 4 snaps of offense.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, he's not Travis Hunter." Like, well, let's just
Dog,
calm
people were asking, should we take him off of the return game? Like, that's how
That's
we
his,
got
that's
introed
his
to Koi.
thing.
That's how we got introed to Koi. It was like return game with the here and there rotational snaps, and then he was balling in the return game, and they're like, okay, here's some more defensive snaps, and then he balled on defense, and we are like, okay, how can we get this guy on the field more? Like, we don't take it away now. Like, no, let him go
No,
do
he
him.
is
Like,
fine. He is
yes, he
fine.
will respond. He will respond. Koi Parrish, big week this week. I'm calling it. All right, how many sacks do the Gophers get this week?
I think the Gophers are going to be hungry because of Athan. Let's go. Let's go 3 sacks.
Sheesh.
3 sacks. I just don't. They're going to pass it so much. So there's a lot of opportunities to get sacks. Like,
I'm
get
gonna
some pressure, dial it up.
I'm gonna go 2 sacks. I think Athan runs enough that it's gonna be difficult to get sacks because he'll get out of the pocket and maybe get an extra yard or two, and it won't count as a sack. But Anthony Smith is a dog. I think he's gonna
Yes.
find one in here. I've got Devin Williams getting a sack in this one as well. But who are your 3 sacks then?
I have Anthony Smith. Shit, you could give one to Coy on a blitz, a little safety blitz, something crazy. Devin Eastern.
All right. All right, it's time for the players of the game. I'm going to pick first on offense. You're going to pick first on defense. So when we're talking about our offensive player of the game, I would love to lean into Darius Taylor, but I think it's going to be a big committee grouping this week for the running backs. So I'm going to take the easy kind of cheat code option. I'm going to take Drake Lindsay.
I'm gonna kind of do the same on defense, but Anthony Smith is who I'm taking. Obviously it's chalky, but I think as the leader of this defense, you have to have a week where you step up and get things back on track after how last week looked. So you got to come
Yep.
in and be a game wrecker, set the tone.
All right, so then who do you have for your offensive player of the week?
I think I really, really like. Wait, who'd you take? You took.
Drake Lindsay.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. I was too busy thinking about my defensive player. Oh shoot, I'll go DT then. I do think it's a bounce back week for him. He comes out, if he's healthy, he's gonna look smooth. He's gonna be back. It's gonna ease all everyone's worries.
Look, I'm not going to pick Coy for every single category here because I feel like that's just
I
copying
know
out.
that's what.
So I'm going to go. I think the secondary is going to have to respond in this week because they're going to want to pass a lot. I really want to. Something in me says John Nestor, but screw it. I'm going Zaquan. I think Zaquan's going to have a big week this week. I think this is a week where he's just going to pop off, put his name on the map with it. And he's been playing rock solid. He's been playing good coverage. He created that one forced fumble as well. So I think like he's had moments, but I feel like a big one is coming. I feel like it's coming and I'm ready for it. So I'm calling that this week on Athan. Zaquan is going to have a big game, defensive player of the game. All right, final score predictions. What do you got for me in this Minnesota Rutgers game? Do you need me to say a line or anything like that, or are you good to go? You got what you want?
What is the spread? The spread is. What did we say?
Pulling it up. I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
I think it was 5.5. 5.5. Gophers 5.5.
4.5 for the Gophers. And ESPN matchup predictor has the Gophers at a 54.8% chance to win the game.
I kind of like. I feel like it's going to be a higher scoring game.
I do too.
So originally I was thinking 28 for the Gophers, but I kind of want to go 31 for the Gophers. 31 Gophers. 20. Is 24 a number?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go 31, 24. I think that's the over as well. Hell yeah.
The over is 51.5, so 52. Yep, that would put you over. All right.
55.
The Rutgers defense has given up 31 points to Ohio. They've given up 38 points to Iowa. So I think the Gophers are going to get 35 points in this game. And I think that Rutgers is going to have, I'm going to stick with your score there on 24. I'm going to go 35-24. Maybe that feels a little high when it comes to me disrespecting Rutgers there or something like that. But I think that this Gophers defense is better than any of the defenses that they've played, including the Iowa defense. And so I think that we respond this week 35-24, two-score win for the Gophers.
I think that is reasonable. I don't think that's disrespectful either. I think that's just a big 11. That's a big 11. You know what I'm talking about? Like 3 to 14 doesn't. I don't know. That's a big gap. It's how the numbers look. How the numbers look. It looks like a lot more than what it is.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. All right, your biggest worry of the week.
Secondary. I don't want to say worry. I'm confident that they will step up, but again, they got to do something to get that Cal game out of my brain. I can't keep seeing them like that. So the secondary has to step up because they have the most pressure they've had on them this season so far. If they don't play well, we are going to have a long night.
All right, my biggest worry is turnovers. If we lose the turnover battle, I think this game is cooked. It's how it hurt us last year. Should have been a win last year. Should have been a 9-win season at minimum last year, but it wasn't. So I think turnovers is the thing that scares me the most, whether it be fumbles, whether it be interceptions. We got to take care of the football. What gives you confidence in this game?
Darius Taylor's back, baby. DT is back. Run game it will be established very early on, and that'll open up passing and let Drake Lindsay do his thing. So I think everything is going to click because you can tell those games when Darius Taylor does go out or he's not there, the offense still finds its way. We have a really nice running back room, but you can tell it's different, and it changes how Drake calls out his protections. It changes what he checks into and what he is comfortable. So I think Drake Lindsay is a lot more comfortable with DT in the backfield.
Yeah. Also, we're not breaking any news. We don't know for sure Darius Taylor's back, but we're reading the cards.
Yeah.
We're reading the cards. You know, we can kind of see it's looking that way, especially when you've got lines out for him. I think my biggest confidence in this game is that Rutgers' defense has been atrocious this season, and so I think that even if Darius Taylor is limited, I think the Gophers can find ways to move this ball on offense. I think the biggest worry comes from the defense stepping up, and I do believe in this defense, so I think it'll happen. But the Rutgers defense being a sieve is my confidence in this game.
I love that.
All right, last thing, and then we will wrap this thing up. Out of nowhere player this week to have a big game.
This is a tough question, and we do it every week.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, big game. We already called it. Zaquan, big game. Obviously, we know he's capable, but he hasn't had his splash game yet. So dial it up this week, dog.
I'm gonna say Jackson Howard. Jackson Howard is my pick for this week. I think Jackson Howard, he's finding lots of snaps, and I think he's going to find a moment. He came out with some swagger in the very first game of the season with Buffalo. I feel like it's been a little quieter since then. I think this is a game where he's like, look, I'm ready for Big Ten season. Let's get it, alongside Anthony Smith, who I'm sure Rutgers is really going to aim to double team and things like that against Anthony Smith, and that gives the opportunity for Jackson Howard to be like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm right here too. So Jackson Howard is my out of nowhere player to have a big week this week. That is going to do it for us here at the Gopher Broke podcast. Again, we go live after every game, immediately following the game. So be sure to tap in after this week's game. Again, at Huntington Bank Stadium, Kirk Shiraka, Athan Kaliakmanis coming back to Minnesota. Hopefully the Gophers can win this one after losing last week. Any final words for the people, Tristyn?
Man, just make sure you check YouTube to make sure you can work on your car yourself, because you do not want to be paying these overpriced fees at these shops.
Don't get ripped off by the shops, folks. You got to hit up YouTube University, and while you're there, don't forget to hit subscribe.